Hey everybody, it's Chris Loud. Today I'm going to share an art demo where I create a colorful and chaotic abstract mixed media painting. This is an inexpensive 14 inch by 14 inch or about a 35 centimeter by 35 centimeter canvas. You can see in the corners it's has a little bit of warping. And the canvas itself is pretty tight, but I think this was just a cheap canvas, and I thought this was a good opportunity to play with something. So you can see that I've unraveled some used paper towels, a little bit of cardboard, and some acrylic paint skins. I'm going to be using those in this demonstration. And I'm going to be doing this as, like I said, a mixed media piece. But you could take the same idea and just use paint as well. Using some water-soluble wax pastels just to do a little bit of mark making. And then also I used a little bit of graphite. And then now I'm just going to spend some time taking some of that, the paper towels that I've used during past paintings that have a lot of paint on them. I just kind of unraveled those. I usually hang on to those for this purpose. They're great for texture on a canvas. So I'm using those right now along with some, like I said, some acrylic paint skins, some pieces of collage paper, some newspaper, just really kind of anything that I have around me that I can work with, and just laying some of this down. I did this painting in about an hour, and obviously you can see that I've sped it up here. And I did have to allow for some dry time as well, since I was putting some matte gel medium down to fix the paper and paper towels and everything down to the canvas. But you could use Mod Podge or whatever glue you use to fix it on. But like I said, you can also do this with just paint. So the prompt for this was to abstract something considered to be messy and use that for inspiration for a colorful piece of art, excuse me. And my inspiration was trash that the wind had blown into the nook of a building. But you might use a pile of dirty laundry or dishes or a muddy puddle, or any kind of clutter like that. Or you could even go with something with a deeper meaning and create something from the mental clutter in your head, if you have that. Think of all the distractions and thoughts that we're constantly dealing with. You could play with emotions like frustration or sadness. I mean, it's really open for interpretation. But I thought it would be a lot easier to work with a pile of trash, so that's what I went with, and it gave me the opportunity to recycle some things, like some cardboard I had, some, like I said, those paper towels that I've used wiping up paint, and I have a lot of acrylic skins that I peel off my palette. So I thought it was a great opportunity to work with some of those. But I think this is a great challenge to explore texture and color and composition, and try and bring some energy to the abstract painting or abstract mixed media piece, whichever you do. But this was really a pretty fun experience. Just I think I put some of this paper down. It probably took me about a half an hour. And it was pretty relaxing and a lot of fun. And it also helped me use up a lot of little scrap pieces that I had lying around. And as always, if you have any feedback or questions, I'd love for you to leave those in the comment section. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, other tutorials, art demos, and challenges, don't hesitate to subscribe. So I'm continuing to just look for places to kind of fill in this corner, and I didn't want to bring it too far to, all the way down on the canvas, but I wanted to have at least about half of the canvas with kind of the I guess beautiful mess, if you will, just kind of the chaos of all this paper I'm putting down. If you're doing this with just paint, if you've seen some of my other videos, a lot of times my first layer, my background, is kind of just a chaotic mess of paint. So whatever colors I'm using for that particular painting or working with for that painting, I'll just make a bunch of small patches of that paint on the background. And I think you could do the same thing here. You could even, take a marker or charcoal or a pencil, whatever you have, and you could write out some words on there as opposed to using newspaper. Or you don't have to have words on there at all. You just kind of play and kind of see where it takes you. Like I said, I think this part of it, I spent about a half an hour doing this portion of it, and then I let that dry for a little while. And on here, the gel medium that I'm using, when I put it on, it has kind of a white, opaque look to it, but it does dry clear. So at the end of the video, you can see the painting, or the mixed media art piece, I should say. I guess it is kind of a mixed media painting. But you can see that in the, see the colors a lot more vibrant than what they're looking like right now as I'm putting this on. But I kept putting pieces down and thinking, oh, I'm about done putting some of this paper down, and then realize that there were some other little spots, and then I'd find another little piece of paper, and again, just having a fun time. I could have probably put this, covered this whole canvas with this, but since I was kind of going with the direction of the inspiration of trash in the corner. So here's kind of a close-up of it so you can see what some of the texture looks like on this before I start painting. And I'm going to do everything I can to not paint over those papers, because I want to leave that as it is. So I'm using light olive green in this one. I'll also bring in some light blue permanent and use a little bit of titanium white. And like I said, I used water-soluble wax pastels, graphite, and paper and collage paper, newsprint, paper towels, things like that for all my medium. And for tools, I used a catalyst wedge, color shaper, matte gel medium, a small round brush, a blending brush, flat brush, and as you can see, I'm using bubble wrap on this part of it, just to get a little texture. I did this on a previous video and really liked the texture, so I thought I would bring some bubble wrap back out for this one and see if I could use it for some texture. I'll cover it up a little bit and then keep working that texture back in. But I have a lot of fun with bubble wrap since I started playing around with that. And all the tools and paint and everything I'll put in the description if you want to see all the items that I was using. But I now and then will get these canvases, and this one was kind of in the back of my of a closet in my studio, and had kind of forgotten all about it and pulled it out, and I sprayed a little water on the back because the canvas was a little loose, and was able to tighten that up really well. But still, those corners, and I see that quite often with some of these inexpensive canvases where the corners aren't real tight, and they'll have some waves, a little bit of I don't know if I want to say warping, but I guess the canvas is kind of warped or buckled. And those ones I typically either put a lot of gesso on when I'm gessoing and try and get some texture with gesso in those corners, or I'll do a mixed media piece and cover them with paper and other items. And that seems to work out really well. I was really having a hard time figuring out what color I was going to use as the background. You can see I started with light olive green and didn't really like the way that was looking. I could have gone with that. I think it would have worked okay, but wasn't too thrilled with it. So I thought I would try and cover that up a little bit with this light blue permanent. And I think that ended up working out well. You can still see some of the green peeking through. And then I also brought in a little bit of Windsor blue, forgot about that, to make some dark areas kind of closer to the mixed media pieces, just to give a little hint of shadowing and dimension there. But I didn't want to spend too much time on that, so. And I'll show you coming up the final piece, and I'll show you in different orientations on this one as well. And I think it really works with any orientation, but I think this is my favorite one. So here coming up are the final painting, and like I said, in some different orientations. So thanks for watching, and keep on painting.